And we're live.
Hey!
John Wilburn, John Wilburn's a minute early, but we'll call him on time. Buddy Carafano.
What do you mean?
Inspector Bruce. Inspector Bruce. Barry Cuda. I'm so excited I don't know what to do with myself. And why would that be? And Kim and I are sitting a little bit far apart because her feet got cold doing something. She's got the heater blasting on her feet there, and I don't want to get in the line of the heater because that heater's really hot. And Mexican Specs here on the hour. How you doing? The bucket's hard on the ankles. Oh man, yeah, you don't want to. That heater already caught something on fire once.
That's brutal.
Turn it down.
My feet need to get. It's only got 3 settings. It's on the lowest one.
Oh, okay. Kim's feet are.
Hi, everybody.
Kim's feet are.
Welcome to
cold.
Thursday night.
And I'm.
Cleanup crew with Kim and Buff Del Campo, the namesake of this channel. Listen, I had a shower tonight.
No. It smells like rubber burning or something. Oh, it's probably the bottom of your shoes. Maybe. I smell this plasticky rubber smell. And she's got her feet like right by that heat blast machine.
We are in the shop. It's not that cold, but for some reason...
No, it's nice in here.
I've been having this issue where the past couple of months where my feet are just cold. All I want to do is crawl in bed and wrap my feet, a big blanket around my feet.
Carbide Jones is here. Good evening. What is that thing that Meat Street Mobile has? He has this, and then he has a thing that if I were in the airplane looking down, I'd call that a segmented circle, but except it's got a face in the middle of it. Segmented circle tells you which way the pattern goes.
Segmented circle face.
So what is that?
I don't know. I thought it was sunny side up eggs with a single sausage.
Oh, sunny side up eggs with a single sausage.
Like
okay, and
Daniel
Morrissey. And Barry Cuda says just being silly. And D-Man's, hey, D-Man. Yeah, did you see you asked me a question right as you went out on our Tuesday night live. Just as I hit the button, it came up, and you asked me if I had your email. And I got in, I typed yes, but I didn't know if you were still there. But if you pulled up your email, you see where I probably answered you a couple of times.
Old reliable shop computer.
And
it boots up, and it just does the thing.
Wendy English is here.
Hey, Wendy. With any luck, we'll be able to stream here for a couple of hours.
Well, if I sent you an email. Another email?
More email.
Because you sent me an email.
Baby.
I replied twice. Oh, I forgot to push that button up. Oh, I forgot the lights, too. I forgot the lights, too. Well, I don't remember everything.
This man.
So, look at this. Inspector Bruce and Daniel Morrissey are talking to each other across, they're both in Petaluma, California, but they're talking to each other through Clarksville, Tennessee.
Bouncing off of Clarksville back to Petaluma. Hey, Dawn.
Yeah, D-Man, I replied to that. Check your email. I replied to it Tuesday morning. I replied to it, then I replied to it again after the live. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I saw that. I saw what it was too.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, D-Man.
And Vintage
Tanner says, I finally started doing some body work again today. Hadn't worked on the scamp in weeks. Well, the weather sucked. It's getting better now, though. It's really not that cold. I don't mean to complain like the weather, but my feet are just cold. The ground's just, walking on the ground makes my feet hurt. They get so cold. But the rest, honestly, it's 65 in the shop, and I haven't even worked that hard at the fire today, so.
You know that Cobra 25 that I sent to Boat Anchor, to Steve Edwards?
Oh, why is the smoke coming out of the fireplace over here? There's smoke. Oh, something's wrong. What's going on?
Where's it coming out?
I don't know, but there's smoke over here.
I don't even see it.
There was smoke coming out.
Oh, yeah, there's smoke, all right. But you open it. What happened? Man, I panic. I like my heart's going like, blah, 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 blah. I don't want a fire in here. So,
I don't know, maybe a tourist.
let's see. I didn't really see this. Anyway, I sent 2 radios to Boat Anchor, Steve Edwards. And one of them didn't work. It worked, but it put out like tiny power, like not even a watt or something. He got that one fixed. He says that thing's working great. It's an old Radio Shack, realistic one. And then the Cobra 25,
Realistic.
the Cobra 25, I guess works really well. So he's already sent them back to me.
Oh,
Kim's having a hard time tonight.
my feet were just starting to feel comfortable.
Why Cat Dawn says spring is in the air. Daylight savings next weekend. Oh, good. Is it already next weekend?
Just around the corner.
Are you sure? I thought we had another week to go, but maybe not. Or maybe that's what he means by next weekend. I know it's into March sometime. I thought it was like March 14th or something. How big are your biceps now, Tanner? Dean Stevenson says that. D-Man, it should flag. Probably means plug. It should plug and play. It's pre-wired for a Cobra. What is that noise?
I am the firebug. I am the fire starter.
Yeah.
I got the clicky click. Oh. Anyways.
Let's see here.
Whoa.
I'm no.
Now just my bum is cold.
Barry Kuda says, don't say that. It means autumn is in the air for me.
Gosh.
Hey, you guys, we had a cold winter here. God.
Yeah, that was pretty
We've had colder winters, but they usually only last 2 or 3 days. It stayed.
It roared in here and froze our arses up. Well, then we used up all our firewood, trying to stay warm and keep working. But we did.
But we
get
got
a lot
more firewood.
done.
We got more firewood. And we got more free firewood.
I mean, considering how cold it was, we kept working well into the cold, and then But now we're on the other side. We still have a little fire. We've recouped a little bit of firewood on some warm days. We'll figure.
Tanner says, I just wasn't in the mood to work on the car. I was too busy doing dirt bike stuff and hitting on the ladies.
There you go. Sometimes you got to just change
you treat the dirt bike right, it'll treat you right. And I'll say no more. D-Man, I just wanted to show my appreciation for the live stream. Well, thank you. It is really appreciated. You know, it's like when we get a bunch of small super chats. You don't know how much that's appreciated. It's really cool when people do that. And when they send us stuff, and you always send me stuff. You sent me the horns for my car. Every time somebody gets in my way, I go, it's D-Man that made that work, and
they're really that it was.
It's really effective.
That's very generous. It's the little thing. And you got to drive your car. What day did you?
I drove my car yesterday.
He drove it around the yard.
I drove it out into the
played with his CB radio.
I went out into the big flat spot away from all the trees, and I was able to. I had a contact in Phoenix, Arizona, which is pretty cool. And I don't have any amplifiers or anything. It's 12 watts, which is the legal limit for sideband, and I used it. It was pretty cool. Then I drove. If I'm over by the house, there's a lot of noise because there's electric wires, and I don't know. CB really buzzes over there by the house, but out in that field, it's pretty quiet. Dean Stevenson, the fall, Barry Kuda. Okay, let's see. One Eye Cat says March 8th. Okay, so it's March 8th. Mr. Brett is here. Good evening. Very good. I think some Americans know it as autumn. Yeah, fall or autumn, same thing. I knew it as, when I was a kid, I knew it as fall until I went to school and found out there were 2 names for it. Autumn. Danny Morris says firefighter Kim. I think she was lighting fire.
No.
You noticed one of them was smoking. Where was the smoke coming? Was it leaking out of somewhere?
Yeah.
You got it fixed? When I count, we had 9 days of less than 20 degrees in a row. losing single digits. I was getting accustomed. I don't like that. Man, I don't like that. Mark Sauvé. We didn't get any severe cold snap this year, but more snow. When it's really cold, it doesn't snow. It's on the milder side, it snows. Oh, okay. Finishes. I plan to race my 1982 Suzuki RM 465 for 2 hours this Sunday. It'll be brutal on that massive bike.
Yeah, that's going to kick your butt.
And Dean Stevenson, I think, is just showing some appreciation for Autumn there.
No, that's Canadian.
I don't think that's Canadian.
Yep, that's Canadian flag.
Slimo says, Slimo's here, good evening. Tuning in from Australia, big news. I sold my HR Holden Ute for $23,000 and scored a
wow, that's good, right?
A VES V6 sport wagon for $11K, so I'm pretty stoked. I bought a new fridge and a Barry Bennett surfboard. I don't know what a
Congratulations.
I don't know what a VES V6 is. I do not know what that is. Sport wagon.
It sounds like he traded down and cashed out big time.
Mr. Red, does your heater work well in that Fox body car? Oh man, you weren't here for that.
Brand new heater core.
We bought it. It's supposed to be a running car. The guy says it's great. I take my kids out once a week and we go get ice cream. It's a great car. You'll be able to just drive it. Okay. So we get down there. The guy's got a big long. Oh, before we get in the car, he opens up the trunk and there's a brand new set of headers in there. Well, that's pretty cool. And then he says, oh, and here's a new heater core. He goes, the job's almost done for you because I got the heater core for you. I'm like, oh no. You know, a Fox body with air conditioning, that's an 8.3-hour job to put the heater in. So we did that on a live show.
It only took a week.
It took us a week of doing it on the live show, but we put a new heater in it. And we showed how to pressure check it before we did it, so we knew we were putting a good heater in it. Wendy says, I let Doug know about his ticket for No Name Nationals. Did you get a response?
Well, hopefully he comes in tonight. He's usually stops in.
As the Beach Boys said, we can't wait for June. Why couldn't they wait for her?
I don't know.
Vintage, I did get the starter fixed on the Pinto last week. The bolt holes and the bell housing stripped out, so I had to helicoil and install longer bolts. Well, you know how to do it. That's a good thing. Mexican Spec says, okay, I took my pills. I'm ready to go. What are we doing tonight? I don't know. Kim's cold. I'm not. So
just warming up my toes.
And then Dean says, SV6 is a nice ride with the high value 3.6 quad cam 60-degree V6. It's a 195 kW series. Slimo, question? Man, this is like you're speaking down under language. I'm lost. Mr. Brett, I plan to race my Suzuki Samurai in autocross this coming year. I'd like to put an LS with an LS?
In a Samurai?
And then Mexican Spec says nobody is honest when they sell a car except me. You know what, Mexican Spec, I'm surprised what you do. You'll get a car, and if you don't think it's good enough, you will just go find another car that is good enough, or you'll get it painted, or you'll do whatever it takes to make it so the customer will like it. I'm just amazed at that. Pretty good service. It doesn't get any better than that, actually. But Carafano got $1,000 oil delivery today. Can't wait for summer. Oh, God. I remember I had an oil-fired furnace in Ohio. I couldn't keep that thing full. It was like constantly struggling to keep the heater going because I just didn't have enough money. Mexican Spec says, Kim, take a few laps. That'll warm you up.
Yeah.
Daniel Morrissey wants to know if we did a firewood run lately. No, we haven't.
When we were up there in the fall, the piles were low. Like they were like muddy and trampled all down, and there wasn't much left. And it was really, really cold since then, and I didn't know if it would be worth even going up there. What does it take, an hour to drive up there?
Mr. Brad wants to know Name Nationals named after him. I don't know what that's all about.
I've been scavenging for wood though. We got some stuff the other.
We got a bunch of wood
week.
out there. It's just it hasn't been out there long enough.
Right.
It's green. It's next year will probably be good.
It doesn't light very easily, and once you get it lit, it just doesn't make a lot of. It just doesn't burn fast enough because it's too damp.
Barracuda. I had a lightning bolt surfboard until I started thinking about sharks. Then I had a lightning bolt skateboard until I got sick of losing skin. I used to do that a little bit. Oh, it's John. Yeah, John's here. John's still here? I could go up there and look, I suppose.
Mr. Bread, I'm sure John would rename it that if you were willing to sponsor appropriately.
Probably take a huge sponsorship to change the name.
To Pendaho Bread?
Yeah, you know what that means.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. Define huge. John's
I'm trying to do probably 10 or 15 grand.
Yeah, that's hardly anything, right?
Trying to do some nice body work for once. I've gotten the welds ground down, and I'm trying to use the primer as a filler and fill in the small holes with imperfections. Yeah, or get some
nice.
Get some of that fill primer. You know, it comes in a tube. It's like putty, but it's actually very thick primer, and you can just wipe over that. That'll get all the little tiny stuff. It's not meant to be thick at all. It's meant to be thick primer is all it is, but it's because it's puttyish, it's easy to apply. I'm sure you know what that is. The heck do they call it stuff? Spot putty.
Slimo says, I spent a year fixing the suspension in my old ute. The buyer only wanted the perfect body. Rare as rocking horse poop. Well, I'm sorry I had to let it go, but it sounds like you made out financially on the deal pretty well.
Oh, man. This is cold. That made my teeth hurt a little bit. That's good. Cold water's good. Todd Sauce here. Good evening. And Ford Rules, Mr. Burlock. Did you solve my puzzle? Don't give up yet. No, I did not. But I did see that you responded to my comment. I just saw that a short time ago. Because I was on...
Ford. My shoes feel so much warmer now.
Oh, they're probably overheated.
They're cooked. Feel good.
He has a YouTube channel, so I went in there. I could send him some pineapple empanadas. I'm not sure what that is. Mexican spec, what is that? What are the odds finding a 62 Valiant wagon? Random thought. And I'd like to have a 60 or 61 Valiant wagon. I just like the taillights on the 60 and 61. And I've had it. Over the years, I've had a chance to buy a couple of them, and I haven't because, you know, it's one of those things. They're just old cars. They're cheap. And all of a sudden, they're not old cars and cheap. They're older cars. Everybody wants a fortune for them. Should have grabbed one while they were cheap, you know. But I guess I say that about everything. I've not seen a wagon here. Maybe the wagon was not sold here. Of course. I see one. I'll let you know. Yeah, somebody could have brought one in. Todd saw I spent the day at the lake. And that makes a pretty dang good day. I guess so. Ford Rule says, what's the race on the 13th? I don't know. You said there was an AHR race. There's no AHRA race on the 13th. There's an AHRA race on toward the end of September with No Name Nationals. That's the only AHR race this year, but there'll be more in future years. I'm sure of that. I sent you a link to Dallas and Shane's live last night, but I didn't see you in there. But, they were both talking all about the AHRA and future.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
Well, you know, Dallas had a divorce. I mean, he tells this story. And, you know, when you got lawyers chomping at you, you can't do anything. You just got to ride it out. So he's about ridden it out, and he'll be able to go forward again pretty soon. What is this? Dean Stevenson goes on about kilowatts and brake horsepower conversions and things. Kilowatts. Cadillac and Chevrolet high value V6, nice and rear drive Commodore. Daniel Morris, he retracted something. Some Mexican spec talking to Don. The wagon can be the chase car. You carry all the tools with extra parts. What was my event? My event was not a racing event. Well, the racing event was in September. I thought you understood that. My event was, you said something was going to happen on April 13th. I said, well, that's April 14th is Flag Day, so it must be Flag Day Eve. Is that a holiday? Flag Day Eve? The day before Flag Day? Kim, you need hunting battery-powered socks to keep your feet warm.
Right.
But have never seen another road toad in the wild. 2 years went to Chrysler car lot. Mine was the only ones. Yeah, when I was out in Arizona, there was a 60 two-door, might have been a 61 two-door, white Valiant. Man, guy wanted like $850 for it, $850, and I passed on it. What an idiot I was. The interior was pretty good. The body was fine. It drove nice, slant six, push button automatic. I don't know why I should have grabbed that thing, but you know.
Another one that got away.
Some politicians are good at grabbing shares and they're cheap. Very CUDA. I don't know what that's about. I suspect I drove mine for a couple of years in Vegas. 62 V200 two-door in white. Wendy says that's what my van's for. Your van ought to be doing well now. No more vibration. And then Ford Rule says I'll have to retract that. I don't know what that's about. Okay, maybe my comment I made on his. I don't know. Slimo, the operation manual for the ball punk stereo in my wagon is 1 inch thick. The manual for the radio's probably bigger than the one for the for the car. Oh, in the email. Okay, I'm not keeping up with the chat. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just skip some. Sorry about that. The Vintage says the guy I bought my Scamp from has a road toad. Needs a lot of work, but it's there. I love those cars. Yeah, me too. I started liking them when I was a little kid because the lady next door to us bought a brand new one in 1960. It's the first one I saw. It had a manual transmission in it, and the shift lever in that thing kind of disappears under the seat. Now, I thought that was something cool. I don't know why. And she took me for a ride in it. Brand new 1960 value. And ever since then, I was 6 years old then. I really like those things ever since then. Yeah, and Dean Stevens says, hi, capital letter 4. Yeah, he likes caps, doesn't he? I don't know if he's always yelling or if he just, or his keyboard stuck, or maybe he was in the Navy. In the U.S. Navy, everything was in caps for a long time. They don't do that anymore. Daniel Morrissey says, each sock has a 9-bolt on each sock. Each sock has a 9-bolt on each sock. Okay. My cat, her van is brand new again. What about a 65 Imperial? Do you like them? Well, they're kind of big and heavy, but I suppose. Yeah, I mean, you pull a 65 Imperial in this shop, you won't be able to walk around it. It's too big. Yeah. The Valiant just kind of takes up a lot of the shop, and it's okay. I tend to like smaller cars, but, you know, I've got a 318 Poly I need to put together, and I wouldn't mind putting it in a C-body Chrysler product. You know, I wouldn't mind having a 72 Polara again. I wouldn't mind having, like a 66 full-size Dodge, like a Dodge Monaco. They're kind of big, but they're comfortable. They're nice. I don't know about Imperial. I wouldn't turn it down, that's for sure. And Bonklin is here. Catalog of food obsessions? Question mark. Mr. Ed, I much prefer the Studebaker Lark over the Valiant of the same era. It's just better looking, plus it could be had with a blown V8. No, no par. I guess what he means. Had nothing like that. Well, not in the Valiant. The Valiant, all it had was it had a 170 or a 225 in it at the beginning. I think maybe all they had was a 170 right at first.
Yeah. Just for the first couple of years, then they come out with a bigger one.
Dean Stevenson says going Ford is a going thing. Well, I have a Ford product. That's my daily driver, is a Ford product. Although I don't drive, I probably don't drive daily. It's probably my weekly driver. That's about how often I drive it. Vintage says, in other news, my home buying thing closes on March 27th. I'm so close to owning my first home. That's great, man. Got it inspected and appraised earlier this week. X-Inspect says, how about a 76 Royal Monaco? I don't know who he's asking that for. The 76 Royal Monaco? That's not my favorite body style. They're okay. I really like 65 and 66 C-body Plymouths and Dodges. And then I like the 72 Dodge Polara. As far as C-bodies, those are the ones that are my favorites probably. But there's probably others. Well, Ford Rule says it's in Bakersfield, California. Oh, that's the something going on at, can't think of the name, won't pop out of my head. Yeah, the racetrack that's right there by the airport on Highway 46 and 99. Let's see.
What are you talking about?
Oh, there's a racetrack there. He's telling me I can't pull the name out of my thick skull. It won't come out. Just because I can't remember everything. Slimo, Dean Ford guys are awesome because they put Chevy engines in a Ford Hot Rods. Oh, you saw my my thumbnail tonight of a Chevy engine in a Ford product. Yeah, that was my car back in the late 70s. I had that 67 Cougar with a small block Chevy in it with the dual quads. That was the thumbnail tonight. My cat says 2005 Ford Freestyle needs a car wash to hose off the rust. Ford Rules says round taillights, question mark. I don't know what the round taillights are about. Yeah, and then Mexican Spec says, sorry, Buff, I can only offer what we have here. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, and then Ford Rule says Famoso, that's it. Famoso, racetrack there, right where I was trying to think of it. I couldn't think of the name of it. That was real close to where I used to live when I was a kid. And, I've landed at that airport, and back then when I was flying out there, and I flew a lot out there in the 80s and the early 90s, it was right on the chart. It says, warning, do not land on the racetrack, because they're parallel to each other and they're real close. And I could see some pilot making that mistake and landing on the drag strip. Oh, and Ford Rule says, two weekends from now. Okay, they're having a race there 2 weekends from now. Mexican Spec says to Ford Rules, I had a 58 Imperial two-door Southampton Crown. It said on the little California pink slip under the model 2DRSTH of some big old thing. That's what it said on the title. Huh? Yeah, pink slips. California titles. They were pink slips. I don't know. Maybe they still are. Car by Jones. My dad had that Chrysyl Chopped it up with an axe. Cops came by and asked whose car that. He said mine, and they just drove on. Oh man. Yeah, this LARP, I have all the pieces and parts and most of the cars out there together. Doesn't have a front clip on it. Still has an engine on it. And the engine runs now. Kim got the engine running, but I don't really want to use that engine. It's a completely worn out 6-cylinder. It's the first year for the overhead valve 6s, and Studebaker had some problems with the overhead in 61. 62, they fixed it. It became a pretty good car, pretty good engine. Dean
I
Stevenson.
don't know. We never got that engine running very well to see, but I suspect it's probably worn out.
Yeah, it's worn out. Ford rule says Valiant. Valiant. I don't know why Valiant.
And then, didn't it have a bad clutch or something?
Yeah, I mean, somebody wore that car out, but it came from Arizona, so the body was good. And so I have it now. I mean, it's one of the projects that's in line. I mean, this one's now. I kind of want to do the aluminum car next. And maybe the Studebaker after that. I don't know. And then I'm sure we'll have some small jobs to pull in here. I want to pull my Zephyr back in here. I keep wanting to call it a Fairmont, but it's not. It's a Zephyr. I want to pull that in here and do a couple of things. So, but it is small, right? It's not like this where it's a big project. Mexican Spec says they have more green than pink now. They're huge. See, that's what I thought. It's some big computer printout. I think I saw one somewhere. The last car I bought in California was my Corvette, and that was, probably 15 years ago, and it had a pink slip. The old-fashioned pink slip, but handwritten thing. Very cool. My thumbnail is my dream car, a black 65 Plymouth two-door sedan. Max Wedge would be good. So would a Slant 6 or a 273. The Ford rule says they're pink colored. Mexican Spec says there's a nice 62 Savoy two-door sedan and two 64 Savoy sedans here for sale. I remember that 62 Savoy. I like that. And you've got, what do you have? Two 63s, but those are yours. You probably never sell those. I think you have two. Maybe you only have one. I don't know. Seems to me you have two. 63 Plymouths are one of my favorites. Luis is here. Hello. Good evening. Ford rule says, what Mopar wagon has huge round taillights? Well, 61 Dodge maybe? They had that funny looking fin that was set back on the end of a rocket shaped round taillight. They were pretty big. I don't know. Dean Stevenson, long may be small block Chevy into Ford swaps continue. You know, I thought about doing that. I got a 350 Chevy sitting there. I got a Ford with a 6-cylinder in it. But when I think about it, there'd be a lot of stuff I have to do. You know, the exhaust becomes a problem. I'd have to make up all the mounts and everything for the air conditioning and figure out how to run the power steering. And pretty soon I start thinking, each one of those things is a project in itself. And it's like, yeah, that'd really tie the shop up. And then it'd be kind of a weird car, Mexican Spec. I have a 63 Fiero Commando 361 4-door sedan and the 4-door sedan Savoy. They both have the same trim on them. Oh, okay. And the Savoy is a Slant 6, I think. Ford rule says, are all Savoy hot rods? Mexican Specs, I think, are pretty much stock. Mexican Spec really likes cars to be stock. Well, and then Mexican Spec says, no, most were police and taxis. Lee says, so Simon Ford, man, he got a 73 AMC Javelin, and the brake is not working. With the car that goes that doesn't stop. Yeah, I should get the brake working. Ford Rule says, I saw two at a car show, both 426 wedge, I think. Man, there was one. It's a 63 Plymouth. It was a bright red one in a wrecking yard up kind of close to where you live. It was in Turlock, I think. Many, many years ago. And I walked in there and I was going to buy a 390 they had. And they had this engine sitting on the ground, had these big cast iron headers on it, factory headers. It was a big block Chrysler, and I could see the car they pulled out, and it had those logos on the side. It says 426 Max Wedge. And man, I said, how much you want for that? And the guy says, that engine's no good. I said, I don't care. How much you want for it? He goes, it's not for sale. I said, okay. Man, that must have been like 1974 or 5 or something. Yeah, I wanted that 426 wedge out of that 63 Plymouth. Steve Edwards says, did you get that link? Did I get that link? Did I get that link?
Did you get the link?
I don't know. Would that be like in my... for the microphone. You know what? It was sold. I did. And as soon as I clicked on it, it was already sold. But thanks anyway.
We'll get one.
Kim, I spent money while you were gone. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Mike for Realistic. Yep. I clicked on it, and it said sold. I said, yeah, I guess that happened quickly. Somebody bought it.
Be quicker than that.
Well, he sent me the link. It was probably an hour or two before I checked my email, and it was gone already. I don't know. There'll be others. Yeah, I mean, of course there'll be others. I got a brand new microphone sitting in a plastic bag in my bedroom. And I was looking at that, just sitting there, just as I walked out to come up here. I looked at it and I thought, man, I wonder what that's for. It's brand new. I know that. I bought it for something, but don't know what it's for. I'll look at it when I get home. Looks kind of like a standard CV microphone. He says, I saw a 71 Mustang Mach 1 in the car show. Those things are huge. Like driving an aircraft carrier. Well, they're not quite that big. But they look cool. I like the Mach 1s. They have those years in Mexico. They have the notchbacks. If I'm not mistaken, right? Mexican spec. The 71, 2, and 3 Mustang notchbacks have Mach 1 hoods and look like Mach 1s. Maybe they are Mach 1. Wish we'd gotten those two. Mexican spec, if I had a big pot of money somewhere, you'd be sending a lot of those cars to me.
Sell the house.
No, we're not selling the house. Oh, yeah, Mexican spec says they are GT351 models. Oh, and that makes them even better. They got 351s in them. I had a 69 Mach 1, a 351 Windsor, 4-barrel, 4-speed. That was a pretty quick car. That was a small engine for it. And that thing would spark off second gear and take off again. It's pretty good. You like 73 rear window? Window pins? Window pins. Ford Rules says you like 73 rear window pins. I think if you're talking about the 71, 2, and 3 Mustang Fastback, that rear window is almost like a station wagon back there. It's so high. I don't understand why they did that. Oh, and Steve says I'll send you the tracking for the radios. Okay, and send me a bill. Tell me what it is. I'll make sure you get it pronto. Ford Rules says Mustang. Daniel Morrissey, 69 Mach 1 Mustang V8 was rare. I don't know. There were a lot of them had. A friend of mine, man, he was gonna buy one. It was a 428, and I rode in it, 428 4-speed, and he ended up buying a 67 390 GTA, which is a 390 GT automatic, and that car was pretty quick because it was that, a 390 and a 67 Mustang Fastback's pretty nice car. And God, they were probably like 5 or 6 years old then. But the Mach 1 was pretty expensive, and he didn't buy it. And then when I got mine cheap. Some guy came into my shop, and he goes, I heard you buy old cars. I hear you buy used cars. Yeah. And he has this it's a green Mustang with a yellow door on it, yellow driver's door. And he says, will you buy this? I said, how much? He says, $500. I looked at it, and the interior looked good, but it was all full of crumbs and kids' mess and diapers. And it's like, oh my God. But it looked okay. It's just dirty. And it ran terrible. It's a 351 4-barrel. It ran like crap. It was a 4-speed. And I said, I'll give you $400 for it. And he goes, if you give me a ride to work, I'll take $400. So I gave him $400. He gave me the pink slip. Took me on another car, gave him a ride to work. Well, I know it was wintertime because when I finished at the end of the day, it was 5 o'clock. It was already dark. And I opened up the hood on that Mustang that I just bought, and I started up, and it was running terrible, and I walked around front while it was running, and I could see every spark plug wire going arcing all over the place. I go, oh, I know what's wrong. The parts store across the street from me was open till 6. So, man, I ran right over there, bought a set of spark plug wires, came back, put the wires on it, started up, and it was like, ran so good. And I took it up the street, I hit second, it goes, and barks off the tires. So I go again. I go, oh man, this came out good. So then there's a 62 Corvette yellow color I like a lot. Or 62 Corvette red that I like a lot. So I had a friend of mine had a body shop painted that car, that 69 Mach 1, bright red in that Corvette color. And then I did all the striping on the sides and did the black on the hood and the little plastic spoiler across the back. I did that in black. And man, that car looks sharp. And I sold that thing. I made a lot of money on that car. I didn't like it that much. I liked the 67 better. So I was really happy I got rid of it, made money on that one. And Mexican Spec says, I just looked the registration of my AMC Spirit here. The state of Jalisco registered it as a FCA car. I'm going to have to change that FCA car. FCA. I don't know what FCA is. That should be a VAM car, right? I forget what FCA is. Firm B says 428 FE side oiler for the win. 427 is the side oiler. Everybody's saying, huh? Daniel Morrissey, Boss models 302 and 429. I rode in a 429 in 1970, I think. 429 Mustang. And that thing was the woman driving it, she's a car dealer, and she just took 4 or 3 of us for a ride in it. And she got on a little bit. It was on a dirt oval, and it was after a sprint car race, and they used it for the pace car. It's a brand new car. So I rode it, and she gassed it a little bit. It was cool. I got to ride in it, but I never really got to feel how good it went, and I didn't get to drive it. Chucky, Phil, Lil, Susie, Angelica, Luis, you okay there? Very good. Then, Mexispec, I better explain that Saveloy is red colored sausage that one boils. I think your neck of the woods is called a hot dog sausage. Oh, Saveloy? Really? Yeah, we have hot dogs. Oh, Steve says I sent tracking to your email. Okay, I'll look at it when I get home. Because right now, when we do the Tuesday night shows, man, I got computers everywhere. I can do everything all at once. Here, I got to piss around a lot. I'm only working on got one computer running everything here. So I got it. It's harder to do. I can do it, but I just rather not do it while I'm sitting here. But thank you. Yeah, and like I said, send me a bill. Please send me a bill. Or let me know. Just let me know how much money you want, and I'll send you some money. Mexican Spec says, Barracuda, thank you for explaining that. I didn't know. Luis says, 70 Mustang Mach 1 was so awesome. 70 was okay. I like the 69 because it had 4 headlights, but it was the same body. And I like those little scoops. They're fake scoops, but they're right behind the doors. I kind of like those on the 69. But 70 looks good too. I like them all, you know. But of all the old Mustangs, the 67 Fastback was my favorite one. Luis says, well, I was working so much until 1,000. You got your 1,000 subscribers. Did you get 1,000 subscribers? Where'd Kim go? Oh, Kim's standing by the wood stove, warming herself up. Oh, you can see her over there. She's in the. Oops, the other way. She's over there, standing over there by the wood stove, warming up. Kim, it's warm in here. It's feeling good. It's 70 degrees. It's warmed up 5 degrees since we came in here.
Yeah, this thing's making good heat. And it's not that cold, I thought.
Steve Edwards says $31. Got it. That's what it costs to send you. It's like $30 and some change. So basically, same thing. We will take care of that. Not right now, but probably tomorrow.
He's excited. I know as soon as he gets that, he's gonna wanna.
I don't want to mess with it. He has another radio I want, but I don't know.
You don't have any money.
Don't have money for more radios.
No.
Yeah, Steve, my base station is the Yaesu. Yeah,
that's what we ought to do.
Yaesu 707, whatever it is.
Put your antenna up so you can play.
Yeah, if I put my antenna up, I can use that Yaesu, but that's not really a CB, but it's hacked, so it's a CB now. But you know, what is that thing? 100 watts, I think.
I don't know.
It's either I've read both 100 and 80, and I don't know which it is. Whatever it is, it's plenty. You know, Steve, yesterday when I took the car out in the flat spot, what I call the flat spot on the property, went out there and listened around a little bit. I don't remember what channel I was on. I think it was actually on 38. I had a contact in Phoenix, Arizona. It's like, wow, 12 watts. 12 watts and a fire stick, a 3-foot fire stick on the back of my car. I'm just amazed that we can do that. But if I tried to save from the website with the rotary, it blocked me. Oh, wonder what happened there. I was trying to look at that, and it seems to me I couldn't get into it either. Is that the one you sent me a link? If that's what you're talking about, I couldn't get it. I don't remember if it's what you sent me or if I did a search to try to find it, but I couldn't get into it either. Perry Cooter says we also have something from the butcher shops called sweetbread. Haven't seen it lately. Another name for it is sheep's brain. Oh, I'm not sure I'd like that. Oh, do you have a ham radio license? I do not. I was ready to go take my test. I was almost ready. I went to a class, and we did it at they did it at the local Red Cross building, and we were almost finished. it was like once or twice a week. I forget how often. And COVID hit, and they threw us out of the building. So now we didn't finish the class, and nobody took the test. And then I went back to work for a couple of years up in Maryland and wherever the hell I went, Maryland, Arizona, Ohio, Oregon, all over the place. Got done, and I just haven't gone back to do it. And now, there's a YouTube channel, Ham Radio Crash Course, and you can go on there, and he goes through every question on the test, every possible question on the test, which is a lot more questions than you're going to get, and talks about every one of them and what they all mean and everything. I can pass that. So I've thought about doing that, and just haven't done it. You know what? They do the testing on Tuesday nights. Well, that's the night we're live. So, I don't know. I'm kind of having fun with the CB. The CB has really calmed down since the 70s. There's a couple of idiots on there, but mostly it's nowhere near, nowhere near as hectic as it used to be. Board rule says knob gear sight. Knob gear sight. Okay. This is where I take a picture of the chat so I can see it later. Now, I have a permanent record of knob gear sight. Kim, how are you doing over there? You had a long day, didn't you? Do you want to do anything on the car? Do you want some help from me, or what do you want to do?
I don't know what to do.
Or do you want to keep your feet getting warm? I mean, I don't mind sitting here, but I don't mind. This thing. You did so much on it last time. That's looking really good.
I don't know. I've been spending all my time and energy on other things, so my mind is like elsewhere, you know?
So I guess Daniel Morrissey, the answer is no, I do not. Not right now. And once I get the technician's license, there's three levels. There's technician, general, and then amateur extra. And as soon as I have the technician's license, I want to go test I want to upgrade immediately just because that's how I am. And I don't know. And then, am I really going to use it? When I go out there, I sit with CB, mess with it for an hour or so. It's like, that's enough for a while. It'd be a week or two before I go out there and do it again. I'm not sure what I do with a amateur. There's some things I'd like to do, but I don't know. If you know much about amateur radio, the 50 megahertz, which is 6 meter, that's kind of interesting to me, but then I got to buy radios and antennas, and I don't really have money for that stuff. Daniel Morrissey, I'm getting ready to buy a Uniden handheld CB Pro 538. Well, I don't know if you really want it handheld, but you could talk to Steve Edwards in here. I don't know if he's still here, but Steve Edwards, that's what he does. He restores old CBs and tunes them up and makes them really work well. And you'd contact him and Boat Anchor. What the heck's the name of his? This is Boat Anchor CB radio, and he'll probably get you something good, and his prices seem reasonable. I mean, I bought one radio from him. I'm not unhappy with that at all. He just sent me 2 more radios that were my radios that he's tuned them up. So, he's a good guy. He's not far from you. He's down near, I'm trying to think of where, Lindsay, California, which is down near the Bakersfield area, somewhere down Porterville.
Lindsay? He's in Lindsay?
Lindsay's a town that's about this big. Bakersfield's a city that's about this big, but they're not too far apart. And he's down in that area.
Bakersfield?
Bakersfield.
Why would a baker have a field?
There were pilots when I was learning to
Wouldn't it
fly.
be farmer's field?
They called it Baker's Patch. But that's a pretty big city. Daniel Morrissey says, thank you for the info, boss. I don't know, you may want a handheld for some reason.
Maybe we should push this outside, work on something else.
Why? You want, what's wrong, Kim? You're tired of it? Or is it because I'm not doing much?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? Bakersfield gets hot. It sure does. In the summertime, Bakersfield gets hot. In the wintertime, it gets cold. It's like foggy and cold. Oh, man. You know what I was thinking about doing? Is getting the, I don't know what more welding needs to be done down in the corners there. Probably some more. I could do that. Oh, Ford Rules. Sorry, I left for 5 minutes. Okay, you're back. I could tack on that for a while. The sail panels and where all that comes together. And then next time we come up here, we can put a little swoop of what's that stuff that I was going to call it? Feather fill. That's not right. Short strand, just to radius the edges a little bit. And then up there at the top, before it gets rusty, because that's going to rust if we leave it. Steve Edwards says, who wants a radio? That would be Daniel Morrissey. He said he was going to get a CB handheld. I don't know if he really wants a handheld or if that's just something he found. But he said, you can look up in the chat there. It says, I'm getting ready to buy a Uniden handheld CB Pro 538. But he's been in here a lot for a while. He's up in Northern California. He's in Petaluma. And there's two guys up there in Petaluma that are in here. Steve Edwards and Inspector Bruce. And Inspector Bruce I knew over 50 years ago in the Air Force. And now we're here together. And then, so I don't see the guy for 50 years. Now we see each other here. And then Daniel Morrissey is a barber. And he's Bruce's barber. So he started coming in here. Crazy stuff. See, Daniel Morrissey says, Kim and Buff, just relax and talk. Kim's relaxed. Yeah, but I know part of the problem is I sit here and get to talking, and I don't get much done. And I'm thinking maybe Kim could sit here and talk with her feet trying to get warm, and I'll tack some welds.
My feet are plenty warm. I just...
You want me to tack some welds?
Well, I don't want to weld on the sail panels because they've got that...
Oh, they got some...
galvanizing.
Yeah, but you ground a lot of it off the outside, or maybe not.
Not a lot.
But you could tack that. I could do some little tacks on it. We could do it every time we're up here and get it done. But then, I don't know, maybe I should come up here in the daytime when you're not here, and I could just open up the door and do it, hold my breath.
Well, now that the weather's a little better.
Yeah, if we could get... Oh, man, it's supposed to get cold for a couple of days here again, but not real cold. And then it's supposed to warm. We're supposed to have steady warmer. I can't wait, man. And then, yeah, Inspector Bruce goes crazy. Yeah. Inspector Bruce and I used to hang around in Illinois at Chinook Air Force Base, and he went with me to go see my cousins up in Wisconsin. We went up there and had a really good time on a 3-day weekend and came back. And then the Air Force sent us all different directions, so we didn't see each other again. Then he ended up in California, and I ended up all over the place. Now I'm in Tennessee. Kind of like Tennessee. I'd like it to be a little warmer, but summer's nice. Daniel Morrissey says, best thing I ever did was join your show and crew. Well, thank you, sir. I'm glad you're here. I told Kim, we gotta get in the car. I gotta get some seats that relax back like this so Kim can be more comfortable. It's not very comfortable in my car. And I gotta admit, the seats they don't recline. They're kind of upright. But if Kim could relax in my car, we could whoop out to California, and I'd get my hair cut. Then whoop back home again. We could do lives on the road. Wives on the road to go get a haircut. Man, I'm crazy enough to do that.
We could live stream your haircut.
You'll live stream a haircut, yeah. I'm crazy enough to do that. But I don't know if we have the time and the endurance to do that. Jeez. Louis says, so, Spike as the voice of Seth Rogen, James Franco, Craig Robinson. Not sure what that means. Tim, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you translate?
Seth Rogen is the voice. Spike. Amico.
In Russian, Golos.
I don't know. I'm making up.
Voice, Golos. I don't know what it is in Spanish.
Russian word of the day is, what'd you say?
Golos. I remember Golos Adamidiki, which is the Voice of America. Let's see here. Barracuda. And cow's stomach lining was popular. It was called tripe. I see that in the store here all the time. Tripe. Beef tripe. I wouldn't know what to do with it. It's in the stores here. Oh, Louis says, Rugrats go wild. 4 rules. Galvanize. Can you braise it? I don't want to braise it. Now you're still going to get the zinc is still going to evaporate.
I'd rather just...
You don't want to breathe it. You know?
Bond it. Like, I've got a couple of tack welds, just enough to hold it together. We could just put some, some kind of bonding adhesive on the panel. It's not going anywhere. Nobody's going to pull it off. Put some Bondo in the edges and, Bondo on the seams and some bonding adhesive on the back and done. That's me, but he wants to finish weld the whole damn thing. Right, poison gas. Like, why even risk it?
No, if I weld it, I'll put more little tacks on it. Then we can do what you say.
I guess.
Well, it's a car. It's gonna have bending, twisting moments on it when you're going down the road. It wouldn't hurt to have it welded more.
If it comes off, glue it back on.
Dr. What's wrong, Kim?
I'm just saying.
I know you're like something wrong. You had a rough meeting tonight or something.
No, I'm just, I don't know. We've been away from it so much that it just seems like a lot of work now, and I'm not, my head's not in it.
Your head's not in it tonight. Okay. What is the technical name for the cotton candy stuff produced when welding galvanized? When you don't pre-grind out the galvanized coating, nasty stuff. Hold your breath or run a fan.
Technical name.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Neurotoxic gas.
Toxic gas. Yeah. Bonk one says DOA. Yeah, Golosetamitiki in Russian. 4 rules says poison gas, yeah. And then he also says epoxy. Here's the thing with epoxy. You can put epoxy over polyester, but you can't put polyester over epoxy. So I could do the filling on this thing, mix up epoxy with some filler in it. I've done that before. But once I put epoxy in it, I can't put like a short strand over it because short strand is a polyester product. And like all the little fillets and stuff we want to do with short strand because it's really strong. And so, I don't know, there's some pros and cons to that. Very cool. Isn't where you are in Tennessee directly in line with Los Angeles? Shows how being inland is colder in winter. And here you got something else. We have those cold fronts that come down from Canada that kind of swoop down this way that they don't get in California. They get the effect of stuff coming off the Pacific Ocean. And then we also get the effect of stuff coming up from the
orange syrup slurpers in their cold air.
And then we get warm fronts that come up from the Gulf of Mexico. And when the two of them meet, the ones coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, which I guess now I noticed on the map says Gulf of America. I don't know. I thought that was just some crazy joke. But anyway, the stuff that comes up from the Gulf is really warm and moist. And then that cold air coming down from the north, they hit together. Man, you can have some rough weather, you know. That's why you get all the tornadoes rolling across here in the springtime. What real does epoxy? Yeah. Yeah, I've worked with a lot of epoxy. I've done a lot of layups with epoxy, and Daniel Morrissey says zinc oxide. Could be. Hey, Robbie's here. Good evening. Ford Roll says, I'm lost. You're lost. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking about all kinds of stuff, and then I like get zipped off to a different direction. Daniel Morrissey, caused by heat vaporizing, causes zinc oxide from welding. Yeah. It's nasty. You do not want to breathe that. And there's all kinds of wise tales about how to fix it, is like drink milk and all that. No, that doesn't do it. That's just some BS. Also, doesn't resin allow more flex, and epoxy's a bit stiffer but harder? Well, there's all kinds of different. There's epoxy that is a little more resilient. You say resin. Resin can be polyester resin. It can be epoxy resin. It can be urethane resin. There's all different kinds of resins. Urethane, I have some urethane stuff, but it doesn't work well over steel. It works great over aluminum and plastic. And that stuff is wonderful, but using steel substrate, it doesn't work well. And it doesn't sand nicely because it's very resilient. So if you have two things together, like an aluminum and a plastic bonded together, it'll stay put forever. And the aluminum and the plastic don't expand and contract at the same rate when it gets hot or when it gets cold. So the urethane works really well for that. And epoxy won't, because you're right, most epoxies are brittle and they'll crack. So, but there are epoxies that do have some flex, but they're more expensive. I don't know, it's the whole science. I used to have to spec this stuff out on aircraft, and it was the stuff they had on the side of the space shuttle. Remember, the big piece of foam came off the space shuttle and broke the leading edge, and then they lost the shuttle on re-entry because of that. That epoxy is actually pretty good with, it is resilient with heat and cold, and that's why they spec'd it out for that. But it was too cold, and it still broke. Dr. Bill also doesn't. Oh.
Go into space for the epoxy. Wasn't space epoxy.
Wasn't, yeah, like Jetsons, Mr. Spacely. Wasn't that who he worked for? Spacely?
Spacely Sprockets.
Spacely Sprockets, yeah. Oh, Ford Rule says, I didn't know what you're doing. Oh, what we're doing here. Yeah, you kind of knew here. This was a four-door 1972 Valiant. We un-four-doored it. You can see where the door skin was welded on there. And we're making like an El Camino out of it, because they had these in Australia and they called them a Ute, or they got the actual name on it was a Wayfarer. And we're doing this here. I got a picture. I actually have this here. There's one. That's one of our samples right there. That's actually an Australian Ute right there. So we're using that. And Tavo that's here, yeah, I know, it's just the picture I put up. Tavo, that comes in here a lot, sent me a lot of pictures of the Australian one. So we're doing it the same dimensions as the Australian Ute. So we'll have like a little El Camino-like thing that's a Valiant, you know, and so that's what we're looking. That's noisy. Then Pitt says, boat epoxy? I need to know about this. You know, the place that now I can't remember names. Oh, what's the name of the place? I think they're up in, I can't pull the name out of my head.
Airplane epoxy place?
There's a place that,
Spruce something.
well, aircraft spruce is a little bit pricey, but there's a place up in Rhode Island. I just can't think of the name of it. It's one of the boat places that, and I get my epoxy from them. I get a lot of my epoxy from them.
Well, you did get it.
I did. I haven't bought any epoxy in a long time. Kim bought me some cheap epoxy that we used, and I did a layup. I don't know. Did we do that on a live? I don't think we did.
Oh,
We did it. It was like a year and a half ago. We did one. I took, instead of fiberglass, I took an old pair of jeans, washed them, cotton. We cut the cotton all and soaked it all in epoxy. So it away. I can't talk over the hammer. So I did a layup with that, and it actually worked pretty darn good. And if you're going to do something that wasn't, like an aircraft control surface or something, like the inside of a glove compartment or something like that, you could use, instead of going out and buying expensive fiberglass, you could use an old pair of jeans that's not good anymore and cut out the pieces you want and do a layup with it. Worked really well. And you just sand it a little bit and paint it black or something, put it in the glove compartment. I'd do that in a second. And Mopar K's here. Hey, how you doing?
hey, kid.
Hey, did Tavo come in? Somebody saying hi to Tavo. Tavo came in? Let me see. I'm scrolling back. I don't see Tavo. I don't know. Tavo, if you're here, hi. I missed you. Mopar K says, I plan on taking the Duster a little further tomorrow and timing it. If not tomorrow, this weekend. Okay.
Timing it?
Oh. Then she changed. She goes, filming it. Which probably means doing a video of it.
Well, that's good. Kick ass.
Bonk says, well, the noise filter kicked in. Yep. Start making a lot of noise in it. Something flew off. Oh, a drill bit. Ford Rule says to turn your mic off.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to turn our mic off.
Got audio.
We're on one mic. We're on one mic. So turn our mic off. It's a non-existent mic. Yeah, and Inspector Bruce says, or makes bellows out of old jeans. Yeah, Kim took an old pair of jeans and made a big pair of bellows. It goes, whoo, 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 like this. Whoo, 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 and it gets our fire going. Pretty good stuff. It says, am I the only one who thinks the term dead blow hammer sounds necrophilic? Yeah, look at that. That's an old pair of jeans. And feel this? That blows air. You know what that smells like? That smells a little like smoke. Yeah.
You know why? Because it doesn't have a valve coming out. So if you lift, if there is a valve on the bottom.
That is actually a one-way valve on the bottom. She made that thing. When you open it, it sucks air in, and when you close it, it seals with a piece of rubber, and the air blows out that tube. She did a really good job.
There's no valve here, so when you pull in, it sucks down below, and it does suck some back in. So there's all kind of smoke inside of it. But it works really well. Does a heck of a job.
Stuff I can remember being at Warbirds over at Wanaka, Lower Inland, South Island in New Zealand in 2006, and seeing one of those downscale P-50 Mustangs. You were involved with them. You know what? You know where that is. There's a place called Loburn is where that guy is. I'm trying to remember the name of his airport. He's got like an old DC-3 there and some British, I don't know, Spitfires or something that was a kit. And I sold more airplanes to that guy in New Zealand than anybody else. So there's a bunch of them down there. In fact, that is a little pin of that airplane. One night I'm going to give that away to somebody. One night we'll be giving stuff away. I don't know what we'll do. Kim, what do we got to do? Some kind of thing where we give stuff away.
Yeah. Why don't at 10,000 we'll do a big giveaway.
10,000?
10,000
dollars?
subscribers.
Oh, 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we're at like 8.
Yeah, I think we're at 777.
Yeah, it'll be a little while, but
Says Lowburn is very close to Wanaka. Okay, he calls that place something. That airport is. He calls it something Abbey. I can't remember what the name of that airport was, but his name is Ivan Campbell, and Ivan Campbell's a dealer down there. Was a dealer for Titan, but Titan no longer exists. So, although somebody bought all the stuff and they may put it into production, I don't know. I don't know if they can. And Bruce says, check valve. Yep. Kim made a check valve in that thing.
yeah, on the bottom, it's just a little flapper valve. I used a plastic lid with a screw in the center.
A plastic lid.
Holes.
A plastic lid with a... Okay, so the lid just bends up a little bit to suck it in?
Yeah.
And then it slams it shut.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And that's on the bottom, so gravity's on your side, and it works pretty good.
Gravity's on your side.
Yeah, it's safe. There's nothing.
Moat Park, he says, love it. Timing and tuning and fuel systems are my favorite so far. You get that down, you'll be ahead of everybody else.
I mean,
everything else almost doesn't matter.
What does Uncle Tony call, like, the dark arts or something like that? It's forgotten technology.
Forgotten technology.
Like, there's people who know, but most of them are getting up there in ages. Someday you'll tell the tale. Children will.
Pitt says, MSD ignition boxes kind of led me into computerized controls world. It's way easier than springs and weights. I don't know.
Yeah.
It probably is, but I don't mind the springs and weights so much.
Springs and weights work pretty
and
good.
Points. This car has points and springs and weights. It works fine.
The predictability and reliability is what really sells me on the weights and springs.
Mark Sylvie says, at least Kim isn't using a zip gun.
Zip tie?
A zip tie? Yeah. It says, all noise filter is great. Kim's getting after it. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going to complain about it. Mark Sylvie says, that's basically a reed valve. But Drag Boss has a suspension expert on. Mark, somebody. It's a 2-hour live. Answer questions.
When's that?
You know what? Yeah, I don't know when is that. I don't know when it is. It's Drag Boss suspension. One of the things I did real early in my life, like in the 70s, right when all these cars were almost new, I worked in a Brian alignment shop, the crazy Norwegian that ran the thing. I learned so much from that guy. I rebuilt a lot of front ends. And rear suspensions for that matter. And we've done several here. But yeah, I might want to listen to it. You can always learn something. or learn what they do wrong. Let's see. Mopar K. I'm starting to see a few more people my age revive them old Chevy trucks. But no Mopar people my age. Strange. I don't know. I don't know what your age is. I know you're young. But it'll happen. I don't know. There's like Tanner that's in here. But Tanner's 26, I think. He's got a Pinto that he uses for his shop truck, but everything else he races is all Mopar stuff. All 60s, 70s Mopar stuff. Oh, I'm sure you've had it. Mopar K. Just a second. Nope. Mopar K and Tanner, which is vintage. They were both first year at No Name Nationals. I don't know if they met each other or not. I assume maybe they did. But I mean, you're both young and both Mopar people. Senior and Sons here. Good evening. Worked on a big chandelier yesterday. Wiring, welding, cleaning it. My neck and shoulders were sore. Woke up at 11. Couldn't go back to sleep. And Ford says this is for racing mods. Yeah, for the suspension stuff. Yeah, it'd probably be interesting. Lugert says, just get in. What did I miss? Well, you missed an hour and 21 minutes of stuff.
20 minutes of us bullshit. Hip-hop bullshit.
Mopar Cave says, hope to see more people. And here's Shadowman, UDX 435. UDX 435 is a CB radio guy. Hello, how you doing? I went to go into 390 Wagon Master. He's the CB live show guy. He didn't have a live show tonight. So I was hoping all the CB people would show up here. Here's one of them. Mopar cases. Car girls revive their grandparents or parents' Mopar. Mopar cases. I can't talk tonight. Mexican Spec says Tanner was busy rebuilding Jamie's car. That's right. Oh, and Jamie's not old. There's another Mopar guy that was there. I'm sure she ran into both those guys. No Name National is pretty big thing, but it's not that big. I mean, if you walk around there one day, you can probably meet just about everybody. 2-3 days that you're there. I guess I still don't know everybody, but most of them I do. It's kind of cool because the first year I walked in there, I was just amazed looking around at the cars and the people. I didn't know who anybody was except Dallas and Shane, and I didn't even know those two guys yet, but I knew who they were. And John Wilburn, Kim, I met Kim there. So, by the end of that first weekend, I knew a lot of them. Oh, Parquet says, Tanner, I didn't get to meet till after in the comments. Oh. Let's go. And Dr. Ghost said, glad Mexican Spec and Mrs. Spec are feeling better. Oh, Senior and Son, you just did. It says, plumbing, toilet work is a pain. That's why Kim's kind of feeling like she's tired. She plumbed and got a toilet.
New floor in the second bathroom.
Put a new section of floor in the second bathroom and got the, as they would say in Pittsburgh, toilet. Like it's got an R in it. Put the toilet in, and it's not in. It's just there, and everything's all fit and worked out. You know how it is. You got to take it apart, put it together like 20 times to get everything lined up. So all that's done. It just needs to be finished.
Resting in place.
resting in place. Yeah, and so Mexican Spec says, thank you, we appreciate that. Now if the country gets back to normal, we could buy more cars. Yeah, you got some troubles down there. Blue Grit says, hey, Dr. Go, did those valve covers from no-name nationals make your Mopar any faster?
Yeah.
Mopar Case says, I digress. How is everyone doing? I'm doing fine. Kim's tired as hell, but she's working on this. And she's not welding galvanized right now. She's welding carbon steel square tube to a carbon steel fender or quarter panel. Whoa. Very good. Any better sound than two P-51 Mustangs together accelerating down the strip of pickup? Yeah, I don't know. I worked on that project so much. It's like I know too much about the P-51 now. I'm burnt out on it. And that one, the three-quarter scale one, I know everything about that airplane because I designed most of it. I did all the structural engineering on it. So
Structural engineering?
So it's, I don't know, I worked on it for what?
I heard some guy on the internet.
Oh yeah, there's guys on the internet said they did. Let's see, Shadowman says, I am alive. I was going to see 390 stream as well, but he's not doing it tonight. Yep, that's right. And I'm glad you're here. Welcome to our stream. Mexican Spec says, on Saturday we're going to a wedding. Mrs. Spec's best friend's brother is marrying his boyfriend. I just heard. Whoa, that's nice. Okay, I missed a bunch of chat. I'm sorry. Dr. Ghost says, I'm waiting for warmer weather. Well, you're in the wrong end of the country for that. Does it get warm up there? Yeah, it does. But Steve Edwards, I like the B-47. Big suspension jet. Hey, Steve, what did you work on in the Army? I saw you showed your training certificate and stuff. I was just wondering what you... Man, I had like the whole page of chat went by. Sorry. Tanya Murphy says, here at Hot Rod shows good guys, West Coast Nationals in Pleasanton, Alameda County. You know, there used to be, many years ago, I don't know if they still do it, it was in Santa Rosa. Every year they had a big car show up there, a really good one. There was a guy who used to perform at that car show. can't talk over the noise. Very good. It goes P47 question mark. Oh, B47. Did he say P47? If he said P47, that's a single engine fighter. If he said B47, that's a big 6-engine bomber. Steve Edwards says, I drove an ammo truck at Copa Range, YPG in '84. That's right. You were at the same place I was. Just you were there way before me. Yeah, I worked out there at the north end, North UAV, which was probably not there back then. It's all much newer, but it's up almost as far north as you can go before you get to Quartzsite, and that's where we did a lot of flight testing up there. I was there for got off and on for 15 years. Man, you drove an ammo truck, YPG. For some reason, I was thinking you may have got some training with electronics, because that seems to be what you're good at. Daniel Morrissey, American Graffiti in Petaluma, California Car Show. You know, man, I'm trying to think of, I don't know, I can't pull names up. I don't know what's wrong with my, as the older I get, I can't remember people's names. It's really sad. I could just see this guy stand in front of him and talk to me, and I knew him, and now I can't think of his name.
Why?
Can you remember the name of the song? He had like a hit song that was
Because you're old.
old, and my brain just doesn't function the same. Then I'll see the name or something, and then it's like, oh yeah, it all lights up again. We also have a Peggy Sue car show. You know, I had that before the Soviet Union. Well, it was right after the Soviet Union ended. You could still get .su domain names, and they were selling to everybody because they needed money. So I got Peggy.su. So I may still own that. I'll have to look. I may still own that domain name, Peggy Sue, Peggy.su, Soviet Union. Oh God. Hanging in there. Granddad exploded a rear sliding glass, had a toilet valve freeze and blow off the wall. I managed to deal with it all sober last week. That ended tonight. Okay. Who's the guy? I'm trying to think of his name. From Santa Rosa, California. Guy from Santa Rosa, California is had a hit song and just I don't know, just the name escapes me. I'll remember when this is all over.
When you remember.
It'll come right to my head, and I'll go, "What a dumbass I was while I was on the lot." Just it doesn't matter. He belongs here. He probably knows who the guy is. Man, Inspector Bruce, he needs about 10 points. Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky. Yeah, how did you know that? That's what I couldn't pull out of my brain. With the information I gave him, which was almost nothing, he pulled it out. Norman Greenbaum. Yeah, I met him at that. I met him at the Inspector Bruce said he worked as a waiter in Petaluma. Really? Well, he was playing guitar, singing, and all this stuff, and I'm standing about 3 feet from him. And, it's in a car show. And, of course, I knew who he was. He didn't know who I was. So I talked to him, and then pretty soon, I don't know, I kind of knew who he was, and he knew I was. And the next guy was over there, same thing. Saw him, talked to him. But then, I haven't seen him since, 1975 or something? So, I might know who I am. Probably not. I certainly don't look the same. Oh, when I see Bruce's picture here, I know that's Bruce. That's the guy I knew in 1973 in Illinois. He still looks a lot the same. He worked as a waiter. Yeah, a lot of musicians work as whatever kind of job they can get. Then they make money sometimes, and sometimes they got to be waiters so they can keep playing their music.
Well, that's like your grandson.
Yeah, my grandson. My grandson is a musician, pretty darn good one. But he sells furniture. And that's how he makes his living. He works in a furniture showroom place that sells furniture. Actually, I've been there with my son and my grandson and a couple other people playing music, and it's all like classic rock stuff, and they're really good, But I don't know. It says I got to throw in some Frank's hot sauce for the acidic balance to the sugar. I'm going to cry on the potty tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Bruce says, have you ever heard of the airplane makers Cub Crafters? Yes, I have. I don't know a lot about the Cub Crafters. I know what they are, and I know, doesn't Blanco Lirio have one? The guy, some of you might know who Blanco Lirio is. He's a pilot that he has a YouTube channel.
Everybody knows him.
He's a pretty big channel. And I think he owns one of those things. If not, he's been flying in one or something. Daniel Moore said, one day I told Inspector Bruce, we got to get you, Buff, and Bruce together. It'll be awesome. Live chat with Kim. Bruce is going to come out here at some point. He was going to last year, like in October or something, but then, it just didn't happen. So maybe he will this year, hopefully when it warms up. And we'll do something together. Dr. Ghost says, does your grandson have YouTube or Instagram channels so he can find his music? I don't know. Doesn't have YouTube. I'll have to talk to him. Warbirds over Onaka founder started with a P-51, then Spitfire, Corsair. Corsair's a cool airplane. And eventually a Mark 14 Spitfire, which the engine turns in the opposite direction. He crashed that on takeoff, ruined himself. Oh no. Bruce Colchin, they had a tour on Cletus McFarland's channel a few days ago. Cletus McFarland, I don't watch him much, but I watched him a couple of times when it had to do with aircraft stuff and flying. He's a pretty sharp guy. I mean,
that's all an act he does with it being dumb.
He understands.
Southerner. He's smart.
He understands aircraft and aerodynamics, and he's the kind of guy I'd probably ride with. Just you just listen to somebody like that for a couple of minutes, and I figured out he knew what he was doing. He wasn't just full of shit like some people are. Bluegrit says, "Gotta go. 5:45 a.m. is coming up fast. You got to do something at 5:45."
It's getting late. We better get going soon.
Kim wants to go.
You said it's time. Is it time to go to bed? What time is it? People leaving? Is everybody leaving?
It was Bluegrit. Bluegrit has to get up at 5:45.
Good night, Walter.
Do you have to get up at 5:45? I hope not.
I'll probably be awake at 5:45, but I don't have to get up and do anything.
She and I are weird schedules. Olive's here. Hey. But I go to sleep, I don't know, sometime during the night and wake up after about 3 or 4 hours.
It's doing the thing.
I see it.
It's doing the thing.
I see it. Test flew one on the channel, says Bruce Colchin. Oh, you test flew one of their Cub Crafters.
Ow.
They're giving a used one away.
Wow.
You want me to kill this?
No, it's fine. Everybody can see advertisements. Advertisements.
It's still early. We have hours of live chat to go. Don't you have to work tomorrow? He's gonna be there cutting hair, falling, and they're like, "You stopped cutting." Oh, I fell asleep.
See, Mark Sylvia has to go too.
All right, so same here. Got to get up.
Who's doing it? Granddad's junk. Are you gonna start streaming? Are you gonna do streams? Maybe he doesn't have high-speed internet. How come nobody ever streams after us?
Because we're like, well, except all the people down under. That's just the time they ought to get going.
Yeah.
It's like evening down there.
Why doesn't anybody go after?
Of course, I don't know. There's quite a distance between the people in Australia and the people in New Zealand. There's some hours between them.
Is there? I guess they would be, yeah.
Hippie Long, I would like to see your idea for tailgate transition on the bed walls. Oh.
I would like to see them too.
We've got to put the hinges. And I was asking Kim, she had this piece of material here that she wants me to use for something on the turbo, kind of a thick piece of steel. I was asking if we had any more of this, and she said no. But this is what I need to make the hinges. So so we got to get some. How thick do you think this is? That looks like
it's like a quarter inch.
8 or is it 3/16? I don't know.
It's like a quarter. Thick.
I don't think that's a quarter.
Maybe not.
.188. Okay, so it's this is 3/16.
3.
Well, 16th is 0.625. So yeah, 3/16. This is cold. Cold steel. Cold rolled steel. It's cold. Yeah, I'll get some. Dean brother, how's Dunedin doing? Dunedin. Oh yeah, we found Dunedin on GeoGuessr. Oh, you know what happened today?
No.
I looked in my account and they took money for
another month of GeoGuessr. Signed you up automatically. Those bastards.
So now we got to play it. I'll go in the other room and sit there by myself and play it now that I paid for it. Dean Stevenson, the arrows and things going this way though.
Just make the tailgate.
Hippie line, just make the tailgate remove. I thought about that. I was going to make tracks and make it slide up, but after I got thinking about it, working it out, I've done a lot of linkages stuff like control linkages in airplanes. This is actually pretty simple. I know what to do. I'll be able to make that tailgate not bind up. It'll be okay. You turned the heat off. Are you warm enough?
You're getting cold again.
Use keyhole to pot to put turn handle.
Oh, for the keyhole.
Oh, to latch it. I think I'm just going to latch it with, like the old pickup trucks were, with a hook that goes through a couple things with a hole and a chain. So when you put it down, you hook it back in, and there's a chain that holds it in the right position. Kind of like a trucks like in the early 60s, like in the 50s, Because if you open it like that, and that would be easy to do because you could have, let me turn this so you can see me. So you have two things that go in and out like this with a turner thing in the center. But then when it goes down, there's nothing to hold it. So then you got to put something else. So I think I just use the chains. I think that'll work okay. It'll be good enough. I think. I guess we could put a turner thing. Like a Chevy Nomad has. It had a thing that turned, I think, like that. And that's what I did on the Titan Tornado. Actually, a customer did it. Made a thing that made two deals go out like this to latch the door, and the door on that thing kind of opened up and forward, and it was a pretty nice thing he made. So we just copied it. We told him we were going to copy it, and he goes, "Yeah, go ahead." So it ended up on all the Titan Tornadoes, except the prototype. Prototype had two little pins that you just pulled them in and out. You had to pull one, pull the other one. But all the one serial number 2 on up had the customer's handle. Oh, it says you could add cables inside the door of some more modern trucks. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. Daniel Morrissey, if I ever build an ambo, let's be like an ambulance conversion into an RV, I'll start YouTubing. One day I'll find a C4500 should be Kodiak ambulance. Oh, that kind of ambulance. Oh, because right now, right around here somewhere, there's a, God, what year is that Cadillac? It's like a 99, I think. Cadillac hearse. It only has like 31,000 miles on it. This thing's beautiful.
What does it have to do with an ambulance?
But that's the kind of ambulance I thought he meant. It was like a high-top Cadillac. But if he's talking about a box ambulance, like a Chevy
C4500, yeah.
Yeah, that's a different kind of ambulance than I was thinking of. Like the ones that Mexican Spec had are the big Cadillac ambulances and hearses.
Olive, I knew what you were talking about. That there's cables from the handle out to the door latches on the tailgates of some stuff. I've seen them.
We did that on, like I said, on Titan Tornado, but they were tubes. So when you turn the thing, two little thin tubes that just pull out like this or put in like that, and they went into little Delrin holes that went in there, and they fit tight enough. They stayed put.
Hippie Long says, I'm interested in the top or bed transition to get level. Well, we did have a...
Oh, they're perfect from one side to the other. They're perfectly level.
No, I think he means how are we going to get up to it. No. We have this piece to go across, and then we have to, like, swoop up to it. I don't know. We haven't figured it out exactly.
Like, I got it.
That's why I left these long, because I don't know where they're going to...
We don't know exactly where they're going to cut, but I know what we're doing.
I don't know. It's kind of a crap show back here.
I know exactly what needs to be done. I just don't know exactly where it is.
I know exactly what needs to be done.
Once we get the tailgate in, I'll do that. Well, you started working on it. She started working on a tailgate to do the roll-up part.
I did. But then it got cold and we stopped working.
It got cold. That's what happened here. It got cold. It got so miserable cold, we quit coming out here. And then what happens? You start losing interest in the project.
I did, yeah. I started working on something else.
Freezing cold.
Stir crazy waiting to get at it. It just needs some time to get my head back in the game. His too.
Yeah, the cold really knocked the crap out of us. And it stayed cold for so long.
Weeks and weeks. And we ran out of firewood, and that just...
We had enough firewood to keep everything in here from freezing. Keep it above, about 35 degrees.
Well, and then I started having to chop firewood, and man, that kicked my butt. I couldn't keep doing that every day, chopping firewood. That was too much.
The project went from the Ute to
keeping warm,
staying ahead of winter, and it's just...
So we redirected our energies to more useful things. Like I said, I got the flooring in the bathroom done this week, which is awesome, along with a little bit of plumbing. That's fantastic. And we did a bunch of stuff.
Hippie Long wants to put the door on to visualize. Can we do that, or is there too much stuff in the way?
What, the door?
To put the tailgate on. Just stick it up in there to visualize it.
All right. He's trying to get us to get our head in the game.
He's trying to get us to get our head in the game. I think he wants to see it. And the house has electric heat. And I have $460 of electric bill this month, and that also knocked the crap out of us. Fixes. How about getting a bigger wood stove so you don't have to cut the pieces? Well, yeah, I mean, that would be another expense.
Well,
and there aren't many wood stoves bigger than this. This is a pretty big wood stove. So, and if you put logs in, they're big around. They don't burn well. The thing is, you gotta split them. That's where the work is. You split them into pieces that you can put in there, and they burn instead of sitting there and smolder.
We don't have a log splitter.
No, she and I are the splitters. She's more of the splitter than I am, but I do split some wood too.
I didn't feel like spending $1,000 on a log splitter this year. I didn't.
Hippie Long says, thank you. See, and that has to roll up. This edge right here has to roll up to this, like it does going down the side. That's going to be a bunch of hammer and dolly work there.
Forming. Hammer. He can't see that.
Well, they could sort of see it. You can put the other camera on, but that might be hard to hook up. Ooh, you're going to run out of cord doing that. Oh, you're going to do it like that? I guess that'll do it. So anyway, you see where the side is rolled up, all the way along the side. It's rolled up to that square tubing. We're going to have to do some roll work on that and probably add some pieces in there to roll that up because there's not enough material there to roll it up. But we'll tack a bunch of pieces in there and roll them up.
Well,
I wouldn't mind doing that.
We have a whole rear deck to use. No.
Pitt says, I got a log cutter 50 years ago. Still pumping them out. Yeah, I didn't do that. And Mexican Spec says we have a log splitter. It's called a Bronco 2. I guess we could put a big point on the front and just put logs up against it and drive into it.
Maybe.
Tighten your seatbelt. Daniel Morrissey, where you live, does your local garbage company sell cords of wood? No. And we'd never buy, well, we do buy wood. If we go out and buy the scrap wood, it's $20 for a full van full of wood. And it's offcuts. It's hardwood. It's offcuts from a place that makes pallets up in the, not too far from here in Kentucky. And we paid $20 for that. And we did that 3 times this year. But other than that, there's so many trees that fall down around here and they're in the way and people cut them up and they can't get rid of everything. And there's a lot where you're allowed to just pile wood. There's signs that says free wood. So anytime there's a pile of wood there, you go up there and you grab some of it, So we can get free wood. And Luis is taking off. Hey, good night. Take care, man. Well, it's 1:55 there.
Yeah, I mean, firewood.
Oh, Buff didn't get it. Okay, what did he said something? I got a log cutter. 50+ years. I don't know.
Why are you going to roll the tailgate? A tailgate wouldn't be rolled.
Okay, you see what we got here.
See, this is
See the side? See how the side rolls up to that piece of steel?
this here.
No, the side where you rolled it. Where you hammered the side all. Yeah, that, right? See where that is, where a finger's running like that? It goes all the way from the front door all the way to the back of the pickup bed like that. So that has to make the corner to there, to that tube that goes across there. So some of that'll be rolled. Some of it will have to add some sheet metal in there. Obviously, there's not enough there. So so then it'll be Hippie Long says put the 1-inch tube below the sidewall tubes. Well, then it won't match up.
He wants to make it match up.
It's got it. I want I don't want the tailgate to be lower than the rest of the pickup bed. You'll see. I got a whole vision here. Oh, Pitt says it was a poop joke, Buff. Okay.
Poop joke?
I didn't understand his poop joke. Yeah, bring that back to about where it's going to be because it was too far forward.
Yeah, I didn't remember where it was supposed to be.
Oh, that's too far back, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
No, that probably is about right. I don't know. It just looks funny in this camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be enough material. I think we'll be adding that some back near the ends.
Yeah.
Hippie Long says, I love your ingenious work. I don't know. There's a lot of things. I did a lot of design work, like in high school on cars. And guy that sat next to me, he did too. And he ended up doing design work for Saab for a little while, a couple of years. And then he designed a lot of Hondas and Acuras and stuff. And then he retired. And I ended up somehow got into airplane design, which really wasn't what I wanted to do. It's just kind of where I ended up. And I liked it, so that's what I did. But now I get to do some of the car stuff, be a customizer. Pitt says, ooh, Barry White and Sam Sledge go on the list for tomorrow. I think you want to get out of here.
I'm just looking at this.
Yeah, it's starting to cool off a little bit. Did the wood still start dying out or what? Okay, I haven't looked at it yet. Dean Stevenson, just the 1.5 of this we can make if we try. I think I have pictures of kind of how this tailgate, the original looks. Let me see if I can find those.
Yeah, they're more like a truck. It's not the same.
It won't be the same, but it'll be similar.
Because the taillights are different on that than it is
Yeah,
on
the taillights are different. Okay, there it is.
See, the taillights don't wrap all the way up.
Yeah, the taillights on the Australian one are different. Yeah, see how that is? It is a little different because the tailgate swoops in a little bit, but you see how it rolls all the way around there? Something like that. Ours won't be exactly the same because the taillights and the shape of the tailgate isn't the same, but that's kind of what I want to do, make that top edge like that all the way around. And that's Tavo's. That's Tavo's truck right there. Let me see if I can bring that down a little bit. I'm trying to make this work. Oops, pushed the wrong button. That didn't make any difference, did it? I don't know how to do that. Kim knows how to do that. Work magic with the screen. Yeah, there. That's what I want to do. That shows it. So we're using that square tube, and then we're going to have to make form a little round, a quarter round thing on the edge, and then it'll go across the top of the tailgate like that. So the top of the pickup bed will be the same height all the way around. And the interior of our pickup bed will be a little bit different too, because there'll be pieces and parts out of the Ranger. It says your mouth sucks, Dean. Half the time I don't even understand what Dean's talking about. Goes right over my head. Steve Edwards. What's Cillian? Oh no, it was not. I worked for a contractor. I was like a technician 4 for a while, and then it depends on what job I was on. Sometimes I was technician 4, and sometimes I was an engineer 2, and they both paid the same. They both paid the same amount of money. Just depends on what contract we were on, what I was doing. Yeah, Mexican spec says the Australian tailgate has much more of an angle and it's rounder. Yep, yeah. It's just
the shape of the back of this vehicle is different.
An amber alert. Oh no, a blue alert. What's a blue alert?
Never heard of it.
I never heard of a blue alert. Okay, so how do I get it? Who knows what a blue alert is? This site can't be reached. Open PDF. Continue. Nope, that's not it. I don't know. But let me open it.
Well, that's very useful. They alert you to something that you can't look at.
Yeah, and then once you go okay, it's a blue alert and it's a link, and you push it. It says they can't open the link, and then it goes away and you can't get back to it. Well, whatever a blue alert is.
Hey everybody, blue alert! Blue alert. Just back the blue. Just turn up. What are they else?
I don't know. I'm just reading it. Let's see. Hippie Long says, I think you can move the tailgate box back 2 or 3 more inches on top of the gate. It's giving you enough meter for transit. Let me see what he's talking about. Oh, you already took it off, so I can't see it now. Okay, well, I don't know. Daniel Morrissey says, blue alert, violent suspects who hurt law enforcement. Really? So they warned us, though, but I have no idea where it was. It was somewhere in Tennessee. Maybe somebody can figure out what it is. So, yeah, that will be our tailgate.
Yes.
Teen students, they're talking about brute. The brute head. Don't get caught without your brute. Brute. Do you remember that stuff? I think it was in a green bottle. I think I had some. Kim says, okay. I think she's worn out. We're just confusing Beth for the hell of it. You are.
Well, thanks.
Kim, you've had it for today, haven't you? Okay. you want to put that up there with a magnet, or do you want to set it somewhere else and you want to shut down here? I don't know what you want to do. There's a lot of what do you want to do's in no particular order.
Yeah.
And then Bordrell says, "Don't bother. It may be a scammer." I don't know when it beeps like that and that thing comes up. It usually says Amber Alert, and that's what I thought it was. But I'd never seen a blue alert before. So I don't know. It's a big screaming thing that comes over the phone. I don't know. Maybe the scammers have figured out how to do that, but I doubt it.
Boy, that'd be something.
Kevin Smith. I wouldn't exist without Old Spice. Fit. Love you, bud. I think you just forgot the military someday. You were in the Navy, which is completely different.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Navy guys. When I was in the Air Force, I used to really dislike the Navy guys because they'd show up, like when I was in Anchorage, at the Elmendorf Air Force Base, they'd bring a ship in, and these guys would come in, and they'd come into the NCO club, and they act like absolute jackasses and just cause all kinds of trouble, hit on guys' wives and stuff. It just was, but they've been out to sea with no women for so long. And then later in life, I worked for the Navy, and I was out at YPG, Yuma Proving Ground, doing flight testing, and the guys I worked with that were Navy guys that were that had worked on carriers, man, they were some of the sharpest people that I knew. They were good guys, and they were not as specialized as we were in the Air Force. They had to cover a lot more stuff. Like when they worked on an airplane, they had to know a lot more about the airplane. We had to know a lot about certain parts of the airplane. I was very specialized being an engine mechanic, and they knew a lot more about the whole airplane, and I really liked working with them. So I don't know. It's just my military time was Air Force. The guys I knew from the Navy were contractors like me that had been in the Navy, but I learned that they were pretty sharp characters. Kim, you ready to come over here and say goodnight?
Sure.
Been a fuck go past. What does that mean? Kevin Smith. What did he write? Kim, help me Okay, and then Hippie Long says top box tubing needs to move rivered about 3 inches. Oh, I don't know. We get it all up there. I'll get it all figured out. I think some of it's going to have to be where it has to be. But what I want to get it as far aft as I can get it and still have it work. So, there's also some interior inside part of that. You can see there's some inside structure there that I can't interrupt some of that. So, Ford Rule says goodnight. Okay, we're about to say goodnight. Kim, can you come over here and say goodnight or wave or something? Try to smile.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday. Don't forget to watch Mexican Spec on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Mexican Spec should be going Saturday afternoon. He has pretty good live. And he comes on at, I think, 2 Mountain Time, 3 our time, which would be 1 o'clock out in the West. So, good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you next time.
Push the